Hello, everyone, and I'm so happy today to. It's one more Thursday, and I'm Giovanna Salas. This is your show, Guilty by My Own Desires, and today I have a special guest. Her name is Nallely Pimentel. She's a journalist, but also the CEO of Tutson, a Foro Social. And so today she is with me, and we are going to have an open conversation. And I hope that all of you and us we have fun today. Nallely, how are you today?
Hi, Giovanna. Thank you for having me today. It's a pleasure to share the screen actually officially in your show. Thank you so much.
Well, it's so many things, because first of all, I want to thank you for being here at the show as well. You are a person that has a lot of experience, especially working with companies such as Televisa, Univision, Telemundo, and so many others. But now you are the CEO and founder of Foro Social, and it's a whole different company, Nallely Pimentel LLC, and how it feels to have your own company and like that transition from working for these entertainment companies and now to have your own. What it changed? Why did you decide to do that?
Well, first of all, I think it's a different perspective. It's a kind of mindset that you gotta switch, you gotta change in your head. And when you become an entrepreneur, you need to really focus in your goals and really deeply in yourself. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What is the purpose of your project? And sometimes when you really make this analyzing back and forth, it took me like 8 years to become a CEO of TV Foro Social and now the founder of Nallely Multimedia LLC. And I was in the background with the logo of Univision, whether it was as a freelancer or working for other networks like Telemundo, CNN, or sometimes doing my own broadcasting for the same networks at the same time for multi different other networks like Azteca too. So it's kind of it changed a lot. It changed definitely. It's extremely dramatically changed, and the time that you are realizing that you need to do more than just the typical reporter, the typical
Well, you
lady
had
that
to
is
become the producer, producing
ex-
your own show, hiring the crew,
exactly.
looking for the things that you want the content to be in your show. And so let's talk about that. Let's talk about you just not just the reporter only, and that is
Mhm.
your job, like in the other companies, but now you're in charge as a producer, making sure that everything goes smooth, and then but also it comes with that responsibility that is in your hands. And so how is for you to work with, now you have to hire a crew, a camera department, making sure what goes in and what not goes into the show.
Yeah, definitely is extremely changed as I mentioned before, and for me, being discovering this other personality on me, like entrepreneur, like a leader of a team of people, leading people, and teaching others to how to do broadcast. Because it's a after having more than 18 years in the business and the broadcast industry, which is in the Hispanic market, like whether it's Univision, other networks in Mexico and USA, you realize that you need to do something else, something more. And that's why you become a teacher. Sometimes you train people, and as a producer you learn how to produce. I was I've been a good editor, video editor all the whole time, because through this path and experience through Univision and network, again, I'm mentioning this because it marked me, it make a mark in myself to become a multimedia journalist, which it means is how it works, every angle of the news, every angle of the production, every angle, including short films, when you are becoming a producer behind the scenes, not just on the screen, no as an anchor, not just as an image that, oh, you're cute,
Sure.
she's really nice on TV, she looks nice, but she has something else. Also, she knows how
I
to
think that
produce,
you
she knows
start
how to do the script.
balancing.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's like a compliment. It's a whole package. So sometimes, if you don't have this experience working as a freelancer with certain multiple networks at the same time, it's impossible to get in that point when you realize and say, I know how to edit video. I don't know. I know exactly how to feels producing a show. And now you are becoming a leader for others. So for me, being such a good experience, and I've been learning through this experience as well. And I'm very, very proud and happy for my team of Foro Social, who is behind me, all my editors, producers, that they are working hard for making this happen. So it's very, 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 very nice feeling that your product out there as a one more company of broadcast, it's going well and people like it. And the purpose of social purpose that Photo Social have in common with the community, engage with the families and the audiences.
Well, Nallely, I think that it's very important that you mention all these components because most people doesn't know what happened behind the scenes. And some of them that are not aware of what is the role of a producer or even a woman, producer. Because as you know, there is not many women in the entertainment. They run, companies, or they are the CEOs of companies. The percentage is very small. And so it's a bigger responsibility. And I think that for you to talk about your crew and that you're very proud of your editors and everything that involves to the making of your show and all the components, I mean, I think it speaks for itself because it means that you take in consideration all of that. And I'm sure that some of those things also don't work. Like, have you have any like headaches or heartaches that you started and you had to let go some people because maybe it was not the same vision? There's something happened in the making of your new Foro Social?
Right, 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 Giovanna. I want to mention it that through this experience, it's several challenges every day, several challenges that you need to overcome and find out how do this works and how do this process will work, or how do you make solutions. So for me, it's important to mention in that because uh, most of the people can think like, oh, being a reporter is easy. Oh, being in the breaking news is easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. It takes time. It takes courage. It takes, and especially that when we are persons that we came from other countries, and you know this story, you have experienced this. It's different. It's different. It's we live other several things, other phenomenon different with there is discrimination, racism. Oh no, you are not the anchor right now. You might be will have your opportunity, but later in the future, because oh no, you are not in the first seat in the list. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard to see how the broadcast industry operates. It's hard to see that there are
Or if they
preferences.
don't have the certain body type or
Exactly.
the face that they're looking for. I mean, I think this is not just in the entertainment industry, but this is as a woman, this is as the female has been embodied from centuries. And it's something that is in all the industries. I think that is in the entertainment industry, and then in the scientific field is also where the percentage of female leaders or CEOs or their running companies is very low. So I think one of those things, like you mentioned, and I want to bring this point, you came from Mexico at the age of 14 to the United States. What was your big motivation behind to come to the United States and became, because your dream, what I read in your bio, was that you wanted to become a journalist?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, definitely. When I was back in the time when I was 14 years old, I realized that I was really having this passion for TV, for discovering myself and making TV, and being a ethical journalist out there and giving the information that the community needs and being the bridge between the resources that the community needs and the families needs and our audiences needs. So sometimes it's very hard when you are seeing as well some media like they lack of that. They lack of this attention to the audiences. It's just about a marketing trade, and it's not about really impacting socially or society or making a difference in benefit of the same community. So for me, it was very, it strikes me. I was like, I think I can be the difference out there. That was my first thoughts when I was around 15 years old. I was very mature, very conscious of what we were needing in the media, in the broadcast industry, and the TV and the radio industry. And I came from, I was raised, my parents raised me in a north part of Mexico, which is a capital of Sonora, and it's close by Arizona. So it was kind of a little town back then. So I was seeing a lot of need of a better journalist and better performance in the
What
broadcast.
it spark in you the interest of becoming a journalist? Like I will imagine that it had to have been something, a determined point in your life, especially at such a young age, that you decided, I want to be a journalist. What was that?
Well, I gotta mention this. I was discovered by a friend, a very good friend, and we're still friends, and it's very, very touching. He's very ethical journalist. He's a journalist as well in Mexico, and he discovered me in my high school. So when I was between 14, 15 years old, and he was already in the university and college, what we call in college or university here in the USA. So he was already having his professional practices or social service or internship in the way we call in USA as well. So he came back to high school to invite and encourage students to start putting the little interest out, whoever wants to be working on TV or becoming a journalist. So thanks to my friend Hilario Lea, so Junior, he offered me the opportunity, and he discovered my talent, and I discovered my passion through a course that he performed as a teacher, training students from high school. To allow them to discover this passion inside internally. So that's why I become a journalist later. I follow his steps, and now we're very good friends. And I'm so proud of being his colleague. And he's surprised what have been done now, and in the way I am right now in this point of my life. And we support each other, and it's a friendship forever. So it's the kind of things like it marks your life. It makes a difference, and you need sometimes people encourage you and embracing you to find your talents as well.
I think that that's sometimes the importance of some mentors that will happen in our life. Sometimes we have mentors for a short period of time, and sometimes we have these mentors for a long period of time, But I think that it's amazing that you discover this at such a young age, and kind of fuel that passion and continue going and moving forward towards your dreams. And now you're here, in the US, and then you work for like several entertainment companies, and now you, for what I understood, you have 1 year that you established, Foro Social in Tucson, Arizona. And how it feels, because 1 year ago, we just started the COVID-19, and so you started your business in the middle of these chaotic and difficult times at the moment. So what was going through your mind as the development was happening?
Well, one thing that makes me especially unique is like I'm very positive, over positive. So when a challenge comes,
Yeah.
no, after being immigrating
Sure.
from another country, you become a positive person. Nothing can put yourself down, and you won't let me lie, because that's the attitude we need. That's the attitude we need to fight back and become. Better in what you want to be, and as well with the language. It's we have so many barriers and so many challenges through this getting settled in United States. So that for me, the broadcast part of it was kind of, well, I graduated in Mexico with honors, high P, uh, grades, and I was so proud of myself. But I start over again in the United States when I came for first time. So doesn't matter that I was having a diploma with saying that I was a journalist with high honors from Mexico, from Hermosillo, Sonora, and then came in here for first time in Arizona, and then discovered like a different world, a different process, a um, different way to do the things. And I gotta go through this. I gotta to jump and do every step on the way that I have to take to do better, to embrace my project, to keep fighting back in the position I was looking for and I was pursuing for until I got here. So, and if it took 20 years, 10 years, whether it's 10 years, 9 years, I got to walk through the. So, yeah, it's part of the show.
And
Like when we say in the industry,
it must
it's part of the
continue,
show.
right?
Exactly. And so you need to have a positive attitude. So
Yeah.
that exact same thing, it happens with the pandemic. So I launched my show in January back then, last year in 2020. And in February, Arizona got the notification. It was a statewide notification about like, we are in pandemic, it's official. So everybody got to be in quarantine and stuck at home. And I have my studio obviously in a location in Tucson because we produce a show, Foro Social, in Tucson. And obviously it's like, okay, what we're going to do here is how this is going to work
Start from
out.
zero and
Exactly. So another
yeah.
challenge. Yeah. And it was so important to me, that experience, because people saw what really it's on our intentions and our heart and our social purpose of our show, that we walked through this, several audiences, several people with us, entrepreneurs with us, because we jump in a digital platform since then. So I started the online platform through Facebook and YouTube thanks to the pandemic. So it wasn't too bad for me because it was what it put me on the successful path for photo social. So sometimes challenges brings, yeah, maybe bad times and good times, but maybe it's a lesson that is going to bring you to the good things that they are ready to come to your life. So
Well, I think that, sometimes these moments in your life, they feel so awful and so like they are in a way change your direction. It might be a blessing, because maybe you are forced to do something new, something that is innovating, and that's what happened in your case. I feel so much related with your story because, as interviewing you, another Mexican, and Mexican as well. And it is Mexico is a melting pot, so it's all colors and it's a diversity in our country. And to see you, going after of your dreams and with your company and building everything in the middle of a situation, the same thing happened for us. And I think that one of the things that you mentioned, like thinking positive and be like clear in what we want and who we are, I think that will take us a long way. And before this interview, I make a little bit of research about you. I went to see some of your past interviews, and I noticed something, some similarities. That you was reporting into the community, like social issues. I think that you feel very strongly about the community, especially about helping others. And I would like to ask you, why is this particular interest? Because I see that also in your program, you showcase a lot of interviews, a lot of stories featuring people that is in need or they are part of the community.
well, definitely the first thing can make me think and realize that we need more quality content out there with this, whether it means showing its stories, not just the famous popular people. That's the first thing I was thinking, like, hey, we need more people like me that they have challenges to get here. We need to see more on the screen, and we are not seeing it. We are not just replaying a government um, PR bulletins, and we are as a news. For me, it was really, really important to, hey, we are doing the job for government, or we're doing the job in for the community. So I started struggling internally, saying like, what is the journalist here about? What is really to do really for the community means to this network and for the other network and the other several networks. So for me, it was very important to show and bring a new network that will embrace cultures, will embrace perspectives, and to bring these stories that inspire others. That's the main point of Foro Social. So we need and we love and we embrace or guesses. Actually, they are having stories like they're really, really challenging, and then they are proud to be ahead and fighting back and giving to others those little tips that they are going to help to make more easier the path for other people to help each
And
other.
I think that's what it's all about, when you are trying to help other people and to open their paths. And
Mhm.
I wanted to mention something, for example, like when you uh let's talk a little bit about the stereotype. We were mentioning this a little bit earlier
Yes.
because sometimes when you come to this country, they're thinking maybe you come to take somebody's job, or you come to, do bad things, and I think that you have encountered this for what I previously spoke with you about it. And how do you feel about the stereotypings? Because the mainly most of the show that you have is in Spanish, but now you are doing a bilingual as well in English. And so why is that now you are open these yourself to not just only in Spanish but also in English?
Well, for the same reason, to embrace other cultures, embrace languages, embracing perspectives. It's not going to be the same thing, the same perspective of people in South America by their experience, how they live their lives, how they are experiencing this pandemic. And if you see or you go through my interviews, and I have people all over of South America, in Bolivia, in Europe, including Europe, which is Spain and other places like Madrid. And everyone has their own special, unique perspective. So for me, it's important to bring this to the screen and share it with everyone, because they are sharing very important and relevant information that will help everyone in their own path, whether it's tomorrow, today, or maybe they are experiencing the same thing at the same time, and they can help others. So for me, it's okay if I'm sharing my story saying like, okay, I'm a journalist, but I'm not part of this stereotype, because you don't see me dark skin, you don't see me dark eyes, neither in the way they stereotype us, especially Mexicans, including incriminate us with things like, oh, assuming that's what we are. And it's, for me, it was very important to put in that concept out there. Hey, take a look, and we are good people. Take a look, and we do good things. We do this, and we go beyond sometimes. And if there are people in here in USA asking me to walk in a 1 mile, I do the 3 because we gotta go in that formula, because just to show them that we are no angry about like taking everybody's places in here. It's like we want to just be us and being with our diversity and bring something additional and being the plus for this country with our knowledge, whether it's our knowledge or our studies, or whether it's our expertise in broadcast or health or other industries. And it's good. It make everybody more um better. Actually, it makes a better community when you are open to say, okay, so I have the best of Bolivia, I have the best of Costa Rica, I have the best of Mexico, and we are all here in USA for some reason. So more to see the negative part of it, we should embrace each other. And that's my message with Foro Social, with my guests, with the diversity I manage, with the invites and the stories I put on Foro Social, because it's important. It's important to embrace diversity as a whole, as a part of a global perspective, because we are one. We are one no matter what. We are humans. We having needs. We always be, I mean, we all been feeling worry sometimes. We all been feeling like challenging by life, and it's the same experience. It's like just a different perspective. So it's very important to be open and open those shows and a space in the broadcast industry and the screen. It's important
And
to have.
sometimes that is not so easy, because
No.
you have to go that's why it's important on the producer, and in this case you are the producer, and you decide what content you put in the show or in the other shows, by the company. And I think that's very important. I feel so lucky that I also speak Spanish, and I was able to see your and hear your interviews and understand everything that was going on, because you not only featuring you're featuring people for all paths of life, but you also featuring Latin people or Mexicans. They are entrepreneurs. There is not always that part of the for some reason they are not living a livelihood that most people is, like a middle class. Maybe they are in a poor, more undeveloped areas. But there is also entrepreneur people that is trying to do better for the community and help those people and
Mhm.
other, upper middle or below, but the thing is that I like that about your show. You are bringing, like, giving an opportunity for that, because I think the stereotype of the Latin people, once I was working in a movie in
Mhm.
Washington, and I was the first AD for this movie, and I just gonna tell you that what happened to me. Um, I went there, and most of the crew was white. Okay, so the person they was showing me the house, because I needed to go and check the location and everything. He pretty much sent me to clean the kitchen. If I was there to clean, and I say, I just kind of smile. I say, yeah, I will. Later on, the director and the producer arrive, and say, oh, here's the first AD, and we walk in, and he's like, you really? I'm sorry. I thought that you was part of the crew that was going to clean this after. So he was giving me immediately instructions on how to clean after that stuff, and I didn't even felt like that I needed to tell him yes or no. I just kind of laugh of how stereotype is somebody, whether you are Latin or Mexican, and immediately they think, well, they go to clean probably, or this or that other, and I think that we need to break those barriers, but sometimes it's hard to talk about it. Depending on the circle that you are, sometimes it's embarrassing, or you don't feel comfortable, and I think that that's probably what makes us real, and just say what it is. And I believe that what you're doing, what you show, is opening these doors for entrepreneurs, for all the community can, have a resourceful place to go and share their message. So
Exactly, exactly, and that's a part of the purpose of Foro Social, and all the products of what will come from Nallely Multimedia LLC. That we are trying to embrace each other, trying to educate your audiences as well, because that means we need. We are lacking of something. We are lacking of attention to social issues, social impact, embracing each other cultures. So that's what we're having in here. And then it's, for me, it's very, very important and relevant that we need to share this message to everyone, and share it to the industries, and share it to the news directors in every network. Because if we are making a difference with a little step every day, making a change every day, we are going to get better at some point, better, and develop different best practices, and we are going to educate our community. and having a social impact globally in our area, whether it's in our neighborhood or in our jobs and our work and our office. So we can make the change. We can create this change. And I think it's lacking of leadership as well. You know, right now with this news and this kind of show, it was a circus, this election last year. So it's when you really you extract yourself and start analyzing how we are and where we are right now as a society, and it's really hard to realize that we need a lot of leadership out there in several ways, in several industries, in several different perspectives. It's not just only in TV or in news or in fashion or in short
Well,
films or in the
it's
entertainment
like,
industry.
it's like what they say up there. You can't cover the sun with a finger. Uh, Going beyond talking about political things is not my favorite thing, but one thing one thing that is unavoidable that you see, and that is not something, even if you was a kid you will recognize it, is the racial inequality. I think
Exactly,
that
that it still
the
exists so deeper. It's a deeper scarf still in our society that it's
yeah.
taking lives away. So
So
it's
I
really
think,
sad to see that, oh,
yeah.
still in 2020 it's still happening all these things in our society. Like we were never having a civil war before, like we never even given away other lives in the past and through our history to earn some benefits and to look more smart and knowledge. And now it seems like it feels like we're going backwards a little bit. But that's why we need more leadership and people positive and embracing each other, to embrace their talents of each of us, to put that leadership out there.
I think, I just will share you my personal opinion on that, but I think that, politicians, they always will change. The government is a constantly transition. People in
Mhm.
power, the is in power, have been there for many years, okay? But one thing that we can do as a human beings, as a community, is embrace each other and
Mhm.
support each other. Because no matter what happened, like this all year was full of a lot of catastrophic things, very dark sides. I think that people react out of fear, out of desperation, about being hopeless, about having to face the reality that the things are changing and they're not going to be the same. And sometimes not everyone is capable to handle all of these. And
Mhm.
so I put myself in that situation on that because I have tons of Republican friends, and some of them are my sponsors and great friends. But also, I not a Democratic or Republican, but I can understand in a certain way that this is not about a division. This is something that this last year people has been hit with something like this pandemic, like the wearing the mask, not wearing the mask. Like it's more, I think, that of a mental issue, and you have to cope with that mental state. And so not that people is sick or anything like that, but it's just that we need to give people hope. We need to give people that way that they can embrace each other and don't attack each other. But one thing that, for me, for example, what happened in the Capitol, and everybody knows, but it was like out of the movie. It was is the racial inequality. And for me, that really doesn't have any place in our society right now. And
Mhm.
is, for example, what you was mentioning before, you want to give and you show opportunities, and that we are giving opportunities to others, and the lack of representation that we see
Mhm.
in the Latin communities and the entertainment, like for example for women, or for actors and all these fields. I believe that they should. I'm the type of person that I think, if you are saying something that you are not happy about it, take an action, move forward.
Mhm.
And for the Golden Globes, oh, I didn't get a Golden Globe because I was not represented. It was not enough Mexicans represented. What is needed? And I can tell you what is needed is exactly what you did, Nallely. You became a producer. We need more producers. We need more Hispanic, we need more Latin producers to make more shows like yours or any other shows to give an space to talent, and it's more representation in a community.
Exactly.
It's not just about complaining. How do you feel about this?
Exactly, and I'm agree with you because the most that we encourage each other to be leaders and being producers, we're gonna develop and create more content and quality content, and we are gonna care about every each other. Like everyone that is part of the project, and it's part of the what we are building for the future. So if we don't think like through the years, I mean, the mentors that we find through their lives and experience, it's not adding us. Well, we need to start taking the actions individually. It's on our hands. Everyone have the power. We don't need somebody to empower us to do it until you realize that when it's now, this trend about like empower women and empowerment and all this concept. It's true, and I'm part of it. I'm part of this new trend as well. But we need to inspire each other. We need to inspire you, you inspiring me. I inspire 1,000. I inspire my audiences, and they got inspired at the point they really go and do something and do actions and make actions that what the things that are not going well in their fields and their industries. And it's a kind of interesting phenomenon because it's a global thing. If we were doing our part since from a really little spot in our chair, we will have more better results in the
Yes.
future. And right now, I think it's we're stuck. We're stuck, and especially in USA and in the country we are, they are trying to find out answers. They are spinning around in several industries and finding to way to how to figure this out. And then it's hard, yes, but we need inspiring each other. We need to encourage each other to do well to each other, well to our communities, well to our audiences, and impacting, helping each other. And I'm very, I emphasize on helping each other because really you had to have a genuine, deeply feeling emotion in your heart to help other. And if you don't, and if
Yes.
it's just an interest between, oh, I want to make money, this is what it is, this is what the way it works here, well, the project at the end is going to fail. And maybe, yeah, it's going to be successful in money and everything. But the
And I
heart
think
of the project,
yes.
it's like, it's gone. Sometimes it got to be a mix of both, the balance that
Yes,
we
I
talk in another time.
totally agree with you because I think that is that genuine helping others. Because I don't know, you have seen what I have seen in the media as well, but sometimes, you have to do things that come like from your heart, they come from the genuine intention that you want to help your community or you want to help the other people. But better, we work in the entertainment, and sometimes you have people they just want to help to be on the spotlight of the media.
Yep.
They just want to acquire numbers, that they just want to, that is be, hey, look at me, I'm here, I'm helping all these people. But are they really are passing on the knowledge? Are they really giving the people the information to find the right people in order to find help? And
Exactly.
so I think that if we're going to talk about that, we should be like very clear about it, because there is no time right now to start thinking of being fake about it, and so I believe, that will be my next question to ask you. Have you ever felt like um, that desire to, for example, well, the show, is guilty by my own desires, so what was like? that desire that you have to continue moving forward as a
Well,
journalist?
as a journalist, definitely, and as an entrepreneur, and as a woman, and as a leader out there, and a head of family. So I can tell you what, through my experience, well, I've been a stereotype, first of all, when I came here to USA. So, and that experience to me is like, hey, I'm no that person that it was with no studies, or I came here with school, with actually graduate high honors. And when you realize that it's, you need to go to the same process like everyone does, everyone, and not because you are looking the easy way, because it's no, the formula is not taking shortcuts here. You know, the success of life is not about shortcuts. It's about taking the right path, pursuing your goal, and be persistent until the end, until you get it. You get there, and you get in that point. But it's very important to me. It's very relevant, and I got passionate about this topic, Giovanna. And thank you so much for inviting me, because we can exchange ideas, the how we can make this world better. And part of the point of this, my perspective and my experience, being sharing the knowledge to others. And when you are open to share yourself, when you're open to teach others too what you know, and you are no selfish, and you are no greedy, or you are no having these feelings about like, oh no, she looks more nicer with a makeup, and she's better anchor than me. You know, in the news industry, is the way it
Mhm.
works. It's the
Yeah,
real
yeah.
life. We face harassment, sexual harassment every single day by the management or whoever arrive as a new guy. Oh my gosh. So there's a several phenomena that we suffer through this challenge, and to find this right spot in our lives, or the right project for us, that I can tell you, and I keep talking for 3 hours or more hours here, like before,
Oh, I
talking
bet that you had some stories about that.
a very good ones, a very good ones. And but at the
Yeah.
same time, I discover myself, and I discover myself with what I want to be, what I want to become as a U.S. citizen now, and with double citizenship, and being proud of being Mexican as well. Because other people, they just hide that part. Oh yeah, I came in USA, but I'm not Mexican. Don't relate me with Mexican stereotypes. And when you are brave to put yourself out there and say, I am Mexican, and I am proud of it. And I'm proud of my culture, and I'm proud of my traditions. I'm proud of my convictions, and in the way I performs my life in here in USA. I think it says a lot. It says a lot, like who you are, what do you want from life, what do you expect from others. And we need to be demanding as well, demanding with the community as well, for teaching them as well that they need to require quality, quality, quality content in the media. And there's several people in Peru, including in Chile, that they shared with me some thoughts and exchange ideas and perspectives. And they are so disappointed about TV, regular TV. It's just about superficial things, banal content, that they are not taking them anywhere. So when you don't have anything to grow with or develop some talents with. So that's why no one follow that anymore. And it's hostility and the society that no one inspire each other. Everyone in style getting depressed. Oh, it's just news about what? About crime, about bad news, about fake news, about just bad news. Oh, nothing is positive. So when you have that input, that insight from other broadcast journalists around you, you take you take the problem in your hands, and you say, you know what, maybe that's what we need. We need a network that it's making the change and changing for good others, and propose a different perspective of television. And that's why that's the main reason of Foro Social launch back in 2020, because I was really mean it, helping people, helping community.
And how do you feel now? From 2020 to 2021, how do you feel? It's been 1 year.
I feel very proud, very happy that we went through this together, my team and my people, my team, my producers, my editors, that they are behind the scenes and the background with me. Because behind me, it's not just the logo Foro Social, it's a lot of people that have been working with me in the first studio, the first persons that were editors with us and believing in our project. That's another thing. You gotta find people and put people around you that they believe in what you are,
And
what
it's
you want to
not
become.
easy at all.
And it's not easy to find us really,
Yes.
really good friends and people more um, powerful in certain ways because they have different perspectives, and they are the one encourage you to say, yeah, go for it, do your project, become entrepreneur, and welcome to this world. Because I've been around to entrepreneurs, so that's why I was like, what I'm waiting for. But it's a mindset, like I said in the beginning of the interview. We need to change our minds. If we are going to keep working for a company, that's good, you're making them rich, but you can do more when you have and you become entrepreneur by your own desires. Like, hey, this is what it moves me to do this, and I'm going
Yeah.
for it, and I'm embracing each other, and I believe in myself, I believe in this
Have you
project.
ever felt guilty by your own desires?
Well, I think everyone, it's having that feeling when you say, I should do this or not. That it's the hard to jump in the pool. I call, like, just jump in the pool. But that process between you are jumping or not is when you are doubting, like, and I'm doing right, and I'm doing, like, I feel like if I left
I
Univision, or I left Telemundo, or I left my freelance work, I'm not gonna be Nallely from Univision anymore. So is that a fear that you start experiencing internally? It's like, are you ready, Nallely? Are you really want to do this? And then that's why it comes the
I think it's
courage.
how much is your burning desire that you want to achieve that. I mean, I always felt guilty about, I wanted to do this, and sometimes was because of the lack of not having something. I mean, like yourself, I traveled to the US, but when I was 18, and it was a different world, a different language that I still trying to manage and trying to speak. And it's
Definitely.
just different things.
Exactly. And then I will call more than guilty feeling. For me, it's always sacrifice. I relate the word of sacrifice. You can have it all. So if you decide to move to USA, you go through the challenges and you quit in your previous country and your life. Because let me tell you, how do I start? I decide to come here. I was a successful marketing and promotions in a hospital executive in Mexico. So having this job there, so I was having my car and I was living good in the high class circle. So I didn't have to come to USA or put in myself and, oh, I need to do all this and start working at a restaurant and later in a mall or being a register, because I went through those steps. So, but it makes me a better person now. I liking the version I am now. I'm liking the version what I'm seeing in the mirror every morning, and I loving it what I'm seeing in the TV and YouTube channel of Foro Social. So it worth it. At the end, it worth it. It's just the time that you discover yourself and really putting in clear, like you mentioned it, and I'm totally agree with you, putting in clear your objectives, where you're going to and what do you want to pursue and for. And when you have your goals set up and writing, there's nothing can stop you. Nothing. Even if you find people they wanna will stop you. Will be in the barriers in there.
I think that we do agree, and we do have a lot of similarities, because sometimes you have ideas, and those ideas are just there and are part of ourselves, and we are filling ourselves and our daily lives with so many ifs. If something happen, if I meet the right person, if I meet the right employer, But sometimes those ideas start becoming a dream, and this dream, as smart as you want it, start becoming a reality. And then you put yourself in that reality, and then you start thinking a little bit more proactive. What I need to achieve. In your case was, well, I want to do a new company, Foro Social, in Tucson. And so, okay, I need to find the studio. Okay, the pandemic hit us. Okay, well, now we're going digital. And so,
Exactly. Just the formula is finding a way to how to navigate every challenge. And as
yes,
long
but
as
once you have it, it's like
Mhm.
you have it, and then you have to continue moving forward what you have. And I think that's the beauty of it. And so, I think it's pretty awesome, Nallely, what you have done.
Thank you, Giovanna. And I gotta mention on this because I have experience with my mother. She overcome 3 times cancer. So for me, I learned how to go automatically. And the way you call moving forward, and no matter what it's happening, no matter what it's just wanted to stop you, and it's you need to go forward. You need to move forward, keep going. There's no a problem that can't have a solution. That's why I always say, if it cancer 3 times almost devastate my mom, and she get up again and get up again and get up for third time, and she overcome it. I said, like, nothing than this. I've been seeing what she been through will become worse than while we can have a job, or whether living in USA or doing other things. And so I go automatically. So it happens when the challenge comes to me, it's a mindset. It's like automatically I move forward. I keep finding ways how to figure this out, and I keep moving. Keep moving. That's the formula.
Well, thank you, Angeli. Well, I would like to ask you something about you yourself. Know the journalist, of the TV presenter, of the anchor. I would like to ask you something that you do. How is Nallely? Who is Nallely in a regular day?
In a regular day? Well, it's very simple. The people that have the opportunity to meet me as a friend, as a mom. I have 3 teenagers, so I do several things, some multitasking things at the same time, activities, and that maybe people that they're whoever seeing me on the screen, they have no idea. So I'm been through challenges with my kids, as a mom, as a woman, and it's good. It feels good. It feels good being simple, decent, and down to earth. And the way we call here, it's good. Feel proud, like, oh, people can say hi to me in the restaurant or in the grocery store and recognize me as like Nallely from Foro Social. And before I was Nallely from Univision, but now it's good. It feels good being one of them. It's makes me proud of being what I am, and my family, and what I came from. That I always highlighted that part, because all these convictions about being ethical in my journalist career, being because my mom, because my parents, because my country. And you can't just hide that, or you deny it, or it's embracing both at the same time. And I'm very simple. Like I said, I'm not very people can think like, oh, she's luxurious little girl and she's high class and this and that, but it's a stereotype. Sometimes don't. That's why the learning is like, don't assume, because I'm doing the same activities like other actresses they do with their kids. I'm multitasking. I'm at the same time I'm doing my broadcast. I'm dealing with someone stuck with the computer because they are not working. The internet is not working. I need to call to fix the internet for homeworks and Zooms and things like that. So I'm like everybody else. So it's proud. It's good to feel that way. And the people that got to get to know me better, they got impressed, because it's like, you're no nothing arrogant, and this is good when they have the impression from you, that really they see in you through your soul, that you are genuinely journalist for the community, to helping others, and I can count on you. So, and that's the way I feel, I make feel my own audiences too, out there. So, and it's my goal. It's my goal to be the same mom, the same Nallely here and in the screen. So it feels good.
Well, Nallely, it has been like such a wonderful time having you, especially you touching that part of more personal, because, everyone in the entertainment industry, we have our personal life and we have
Mhm.
our working life, and it's kind of like two worlds, you have to jump in one to go to the other, and sometimes you might feel sad, but you had to go out there in front of the do your job, and then the show must go on. And
Exactly.
sometimes you have to hold back whatever feelings you are, but you have to commit to your audience. And it's a different, definitely it's a different world, but I think that only help us to make us stronger. um
Exactly.
well, I will do ask you one more thing. What will be your message for other reporters out there, other journalists, they have these work very close with the community, and perhaps they're just starting a career or want to follow the same path that you hope that you wanted to do. And so, what would be your message for them?
Well, my message will be that we need more quality content. We need more people, or the directors, or whoever projects behind the screen, behind the production, that they cares about people, that cares about those stories of our community, because our community is what makes a journalist. And it makes the journalisms too, and then it makes our stories too bright. So if we weren't having community issues, what the journalist is going to say? Not having anything. So we need to see and have this perspective, like, if the community make us what we are as a journalist, as a reporters, as a good tellers and good writers and producers, so we need to return that back to them. And I think it's what it's necessary right now, and we need to embrace the new journalisms to encourage them and empower this community, the youth, the coming journalists, that they are the new generations that are coming, because they are going to face a lot of challenges. There's no There are missing parts of the way of the ethical journalism works out there, so they need to embrace every single part of it to keep the traditional journalist ethical practice out there, to embrace the community, and don't forget that our community is first, and it's us, and it talks about us and who we are. So definitely we need to pay attention, and that really main part of it, the society. So it's very important, but I always say that in my seminars, or when I being interviewed by someone, that we need to really start paying attention in those details. The smaller details is what it brings the big changes.
Well, Najeli, and so now please share with us how the audience can find more about you and where they can see your show.
Of course, it's Nallely Pimentel TV. That's an Instagram, hashtag Nallely TV. And Instagram, and I have all the social media, whether it's a YouTube channel, and we are always on Fridays, 9:30 a.m. in the morning, with this photo social TV show for an hour with different topics about how to be an entrepreneur, the tips of how to become a better human being. So it's very interesting to see if everyone sign up or following us on Facebook, because it's the way you can have the updates from Photo Social.
Well, thank you so much, Najeli. And for our audience out there, this was an interview I wanted to do with Najeli. She's an entrepreneur, a journalist, and a CEO of Foro Social in Tucson, Arizona. And so we're very happy for all your accomplishments, Najeli. And so I wish you the best. And thank you again for being here in this show, Guilty by My Own Desires.
Thank you, my friend, and congratulations as well.
Bye bye.